There is no reason why you should be late to or left by your cruise ship outside of an extreme emergency. And should such an unfortunate event occur, arrangements are normally made given that you go through the proper channels, that of which I'll talk about in this video. Also want to show you a clip of some, well, embarrassed passengers that ended up being left by their cruise ship before their vacation even started. After which I will give you some helpful tips so that you don't end up being like these poor devils and getting the vacation you deserve. Take a look.
My booking number is 4, V as in Victor, G as in George, Q as in quick, X as in X-ray, Q as in quick.
Tens of millions of people are expected to take a cruise in 2024. With that number, coupled with the fact that cruising is indeed rising in popularity, there is inevitably going to be a lot of new cruisers that are unfortunately going to make a lot of mistakes, like being left by the cruise ship, or in the best case scenario, giving us some entertainment by becoming a pier runner because they don't understand basic cruise etiquette. However, have no fear, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice that will help you hopefully avoid some of these conundrums. But the reality is we can't save everyone. First of all, there are a lot of mistakes that are made by both experienced cruisers and first timers prior to the cruise even starting. I'm guilty of it as well. Like, for example, whenever you have to fly into a certain city to get to your home port in which the cruise ship is sailing out of, you should always fly at least one day prior to your cruise. That way, if any inconvenience should happen, whether you are flying or not, you could have a flight delay, the flight could be canceled. If you're driving, you can get a flat tire, your engine might blow up. That one day or even that evening flying in could save you a lot of headache and trouble, to the point to where you maybe miss your cruise, or you have some rush to the point to where you're stressed out when you're supposed to be enjoying your vacation. One thing you should always keep in the back of your mind somewhere is that, one, you are not special, and the cruise ship absolutely will leave you. Doesn't matter how many social media followers you have, doesn't matter if you paid for a junior suite, heck, even if you are in the suites area, Royal Suite, Yacht Club, Haven, you name it, they will leave you. Even if you're a travel agent that has a massive group cruise and pulled in $1 million in revenue, the cruise line makes that every single cruise in the casino alone. You are not special, and you're probably not willing to pay whatever fees they are occurring for waiting for you at the port. Just keep that in mind. One thing I would advise all of you to do, whether you are an experienced cruiser or not, is do a little bit of foundational planning and research on what's going on in the area in which you are sailing out of. Something I often see in Miami is a lot of people end up being late or even missing their cruise ship because they didn't understand that in Miami, a very populous and busy city, there are events going on cruise day outside of the cruise ships leaving. There will be a marathon that often takes place over in Miami, in which they will shut down many streets that lead over to the cruise port. You want to plan accordingly, because if you are late, then, well, you know what happens. You're going to get left. Should there be an emergency, whether it be prior to your cruise starting or during the cruise, like for example in a port of call, you should, if you have a travel agent, first of all call them so they can speak to the cruise line directly on your behalf, let them know what's going on. If not, then obviously call the cruise line directly, let them know what's going on. And I would also say that you should maybe have some insurance. That way you can combat whatever situation is going on. Maybe you need a refund, maybe you need to be transported to the next port of call or back to the United States. You want to have as many provisions in place as possible when, should such an emergency happen, you are able to make sure it is taken care of smoothly and efficiently. By the way, when I say emergency, I don't mean you missed your flight or you lost your passport because you were being irresponsible and you decided to fly in the day of the cruise, or you were at your hotel and you and Margaret decided to get some margaritas and it slipped out, now you can't find it. I'm talking about real emergencies. However, all of this is circulating around the fact that you should be prepared prior to the cruise. Maybe do as much planning as possible. That way, when everything is said and done and it's cruise day, you can relax without any frustrations or any headaches. Well, at least to the best of your ability, because we all know in travel there are going to be some small situations, maybe some large, that can occur that are beyond your control, but you want to avoid it as much as possible. Anyway, guys, what I got for today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit that like button on your way out, subscribe if you haven't already, and as usual, I love and appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.